You thought it was over, my dear, but this is just the beginning of the story, and I can assure you that it will get worse than you could have ever guessed. Kirk Frost thought he could dismiss this with a quick PR fix and some damage control to make the whole thing go away after his unexpected arrest for allegedly attacking Rasheeda. But reality struck him squarely in the face. Even though Kirk was already under a lot of strain, new information has come to light, and it's worse than anyone could have imagined. Financial fraud, treachery, covert affairs, and a secret that might land Kirk in jail for years are all on the table. According to reports, Rasheeda isn't going to back down and will target Kirk's money, which is where it hurts the most. Rasheeda has hired a prestigious legal team and is preparing to deny Kirk everything, including his career, business, and belongings, as if things couldn't get any worse. And you know what? Rasheeda trusted the lady Kirk was having an affair with. Rasheeda's life is about to turn from a cheating scandal into a full-fledged financial and emotional takedown, so grab some popcorn because this story is going to blow up. Kirk Frost thought that since he had done it before, the deception, manipulation, and cheating, he could get away with it. He had a side baby with Jasmine Washington, was discovered having an affair, his business operations became suspicious, and there were suspicions of financial fraud, yet Rasheeda had always forgiven him. But this time is different since Kirk deceived her emotionally as well as financially. Not only did he fabricate a second life behind her back, but he also lied about adultery. When Rasheeda found out, Kirk lost it and touched her. Exploded for months, Rasheeda had seen strange activity in their business accounts. Initially, it was modest sums, $2,000 here, $5,000 there. And Kirk was primarily in charge of the money, so she didn't think much about it. But as the figures grew, wire transfers to offshore accounts showed up on the records. Tens of thousands of dollars disappeared overnight, and Rasheeda attempted to give Kirk the benefit of the doubt, because that was her usual practice. When the suppliers started to complain about unpaid invoices and business partners started to back out of deals, Rasheeda noticed something was wrong. She initially believed it might have been an oversight or that Kirk might be making some business investments. She questioned Kirk about it one evening while they were sitting in their house, and Kirk brushed it off as if it were nothing, stating, "You're overthinking things." Rasheeda, however, didn't believe it and began perusing the financial documents on her own. She discovered a pattern one night while sitting up late reviewing the bank statements. The same account number kept appearing, and significant sums of money were routinely being moved into it. It was the name of one of her best friends, a woman she had known for years, who sat at her dinner table with her kids and stood by her side through all of Kirk's past adultery scandals. Her heart stopped when she looked up the name on the account. Now, Kirk was using this woman's money to support their lifestyle while they were having an affair. Rasheeda was physically sick and couldn't believe it, but she needed evidence, so she hired a private investigator to dig into it more. And what he found was worse than anyone could have imagined. Kirk had presumably been seeing this woman for over a year, using funds from Rasheeda's company accounts to take her on lavish vacations to Paris, Dubai, and the Bahamas. To exacerbate the situation, Kirk had also bought a Miami property with funds from their joint business account. But Kirk had been emotionally involved with the mistress for years, so she wasn't just any lady. Kirk had pledged to leave Rasheeda and begin a new life with her, according to text messages exchanged between him and the mistress. Kirk informed her that he would put her name on the documents when he sold his portion of the business. After building Rasheeda's empire with her own blood, sweat, and tears, Kirk intended to disenfranchise her. Kirk laughed and responded, "You're not going to do anything about it," when Rasheeda presented him with the evidence. Kirk didn't even try to refute it. It dawned on Rasheeda then that Kirk had been controlling her financially and emotionally for years. According to the police report, Kirk snarled and slammed her against the wall before she could take action, despite his desire for her to believe that she couldn't live without him and that her success depended on him. Someone contacted 911 after. Neighbors heard the screaming and the sound of glass shattering. Rasheeda was crying, but her arm was starting to get bruises, and Kirk was standing there composedly as usual when the cops arrived. Without hesitation, the police handcuffed Kirk and let him leave the premises, even though Kirk had the gall to argue that it wasn't that serious. The real damage occurred when the police searched Kirk's phone during his initial detention for domestic abuse. The police weren't playing games. The worst part was that Kirk had been using Rasheeda's name and credentials to set up fake business deals in order to obtain loans. He had even gone so far as to forge Rasheeda's signature on some of the contracts, and the mistress wasn't just a passive participant. Initially, investigators found hundreds of flirtatious emails, private photos, and financial discussions between Kirk and the mistress. The mistress had been assured by Kirk that he would take over Rasheeda's business and register it under her name. According to text exchanges, she had been pressuring Kirk to fire Rasheeda and start over with her. She immediately enlisted a team of forensic accountants and renowned lawyers to investigate Kirk's financial dealings after Rasheeda left. What they found was startling. Kirk had committed tax fraud by moving money into offshore accounts and not disclosing them, and he had embezzled almost $2 million from their corporate accounts, violated a number of commitments, including the terms of his and Rasheeda's business deal. Even worse, Kirk used a portion of the money he had stolen to cover child support for the child he'd received from due to Kirk's violation of their business agreement. Jasmine Washington. In order to freeze Kirk's assets, including his personal accounts, company stock, and real estate, Rasheeda's legal team submitted an urgent appeal. Rasheeda then sued for complete ownership of their business empire, as Kirk was unable to utilize his own credit cards. The mistress, she flipped to protect herself, agreed to testify against Kirk, providing her with receipts, communications, and even recordings of Kirk confessing to financial wrongdoing, since Kirk would lose everything if the judge took her side. Kirk faces a maximum sentence of 15 years in jail if he is found guilty of tax fraud and embezzlement. Additionally, Kirk's career is over. His sponsors have already sacked him and social media is against him, and he faces additional jail time for domestic assault. The hashtag #CancelKirk has been trending for days, and even Kirk's most loyal fans have abandoned him. Rasheeda, meanwhile, is doing well. According to sources, she has already consented to a documentary series on the incident that will trace her journey from betrayal to retaliation under the title Surviving Kirk. The Frost Kirk thought he was invincible and could cheat on her, steal from her, and lie to her and yet get away with it. But Kirk is now suffering the price because he misjudged Rasheeda. Because Kirk lost everything, including his wife, and he deserved it. He is sitting in a jail cell. His corporate assets are frozen, his empire is crumbling, his side chick turned against him, and Rasheeda is taking it all. Now, what will become of Kirk? Sources claim that his Rasheeda is refusing to back down from the plea deal that her legal team is currently trying to negotiate after years of deceit, financial fraud, and emotional assault. Kirk is now paying the price because, if convicted of tax fraud and embezzlement, he could face up to 15 years in prison. Rasheeda is already planning her next move, and that doesn't even account for the accusations of assault. According to insiders, Rasheeda is almost finished with a multi-million-dollar documentary agreement, and the internet will crash when the full truth is out. Rasheeda is going to triumph, Kirk's career is done, and his reputation is damaged. Believe me when I say that this scandal is far from finished. And be sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and activate notifications so that you can be the first to hear it when Kirk does speak.